The president is listening to you right now.
And he could be, because he watches a lot of television.
If he's listening right now, what would you say to him about his performance last night, in which he openly disparaged a person who was alleging that she was a victim of sexual assault by a Supreme Court nominee?
I said, hey, I can figure this out. Everything he said was factual. He's frustrated his nominee has been treated so badly.
Factual is a personal degrading attack on someone who is a private citizen.
You know, here's what's personally degrading. This is what you get when you go through a trailer park with a $100 bill. You see, this is not the first time this has happened.
That's actually a reference to something somebody said.
In James Carville. See, most of y'all are too young to remember this. The bottom line is, I know what can happen to a woman who comes forward in a political environment. Dr. Ford, I thought, was treated respectfully by Miss Mitchell. I'm glad she did it. She was boring. Boring's okay. So I've been a prosecutor, most of my defense attorney and judge before I got in this business. For every woman that comes forward, God knows how many never say a word and take it to their grave. Sometimes people are accused of something they didn't do. So President Trump went through a factual rendition that I didn't particularly like, and I would tell him, knock it off. You're not helping. But it can be worse. You can actually kill somebody's cat and puncture their tires to get them to shut up. So, you know, what he said.
I don't even understand what that means.
Well, you don't remember Kathleen Willey and Juanita Broderick, so you don't. I do.
Well, I don't remember the thing about the cat. But what's the point?
Well,
the point is that Donald Trump could have said something even worse, so we should be thankful.
The point is that we've come a long way. We've come a long way since 1990.
All right, it's fine. It's fine.
No, wait a minute. Whether you like it or not, I really don't care. Here's the point. I have seen what happened to these women in 1998 that came forward. I don't like what the president said last night. I'm the first person to say, I want to hear from Dr. Ford. I thought she was handled respectfully. I thought Kavanaugh was treated like crap. Yeah, well, boo yourself. Here's what I think.
All right. Look, I'm going to ask you to please be respectful of this conversation so we can have the conversation.
That's right. I have nothing. I really believe that Brett Kavanaugh is not a gang rapist, a sexual predator, or a stumbling, bumbling drunk. I really believe that, and I don't care whether you believe it or not. I believe it because I've known him for 20 years. If the shoe were on the other foot and an accusation came from South Carolina against a male Democratic nominee, and I got a hold of it, and I didn't disclose it to the committee, I waited to leak it to the press against the wishes of the lady from South Carolina, I would be torn apart, and I should be. And if I referred her to a conservative activist lawyer who didn't tell her that the Democrats were willing to come to South Carolina to hear her testimony so she wouldn't have to go through this, I would be destroyed. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And if a Republican had said, why are you doing this? We're trying to hold the seat open to get past the midterm so we can take power back. The Republican who said that couldn't go 5 feet in this town without having 100 reporters in her face. So the double standard here offends me, and I voted for Sotomayor and Kagan and never thought twice about it. I would never have done to them what's been done to this good man.
Let me just step back for 1 minute to talk about, please, sir, thank you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about Dr. Ford's testimony.
Okay.
You believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that something terrible happened to her, but it wasn't Kavanaugh.
It seems to me, I'm not a psychologist, but I have been a lawyer. So I don't know what happened. I know this, that if you're going to accuse a person of a crime in this country, oh, by the way, you're not assumed guilty. And what got me so upset in the hearing was when they told Judge Kavanaugh, turn to Don McGahn, and if you're truly innocent, just ask to extend this investigation. What are you hiding? You know, this is not the Soviet Union, this is America. So that kind of got me going. So here's what I think. I think the accusation was made by Dr. Ford, and I listened. She was heard. I think she was treated respectfully because everybody deserves that. I back up and I say, what do I have? I can't have a location, I can't have a time. The corroborating witnesses don't validate the claim, they actually go the other way. And everything else in the record I know about Brett Kavanaugh is he's not Bill Cosby. And he's not Harvey Weinstein. This is about power, usually, Jeff. It's not about sex. And if you're a serial rapist and a gang rapist and you drug women in high school, you usually don't get over it. So what this is about is power, and every woman in the workplace that has ever been supervised by Brett Kavanaugh has nothing but good things to say. So it doesn't add up to me.